But not all songs got the chance to be a live song. Here are some of rock's greatest songs that were ignored, shelved, or played just once in a blue moon. Let's give them the spotlight they never really had.
With a purple umbrella and a 50-cent hand.
You know the riff? You know the album. Loving Maid from Led Zeppelin. 2 is fast, punchy, and impossible not to tap your foot to. It follows Heartbreaker on the record, and fans always expected it live. But here's the twist. It was never performed in concert. Not once. Why? Because Jimmy Page flat out hated it. He called it rushed and said it didn't represent the band's true sound. Even though it became a radio favorite, Page refused to play it live, and Robert Plant didn't argue. So despite being one of their most recognizable songs, it stayed locked in the studio. A strange omission from one of rock's greatest live bands.
Look to the sky and face the sun. You better try to race.
It's raw, it's heavy, it's got that gritty late 70s bite. Flamethrower from Stained Class in 1978 is a fan favorite. Full of swagger, groove, and that unmistakable Priest power. But it's never been played live. Not once. Not even during the Stained Class tour. And here's the real kicker. The band has never explained why. No comments from Halford. No nod from Glenn or KK. It's become a mystery that Priest fans still talk about today. Maybe it didn't fit the live energy. Maybe it was just overlooked. But for a song that hits so hard, it's strange silence. It's the great Judas Priest deep cut that got left behind, and fans are still hoping to hear it under the stage lights someday. Why do you think Judas Priest skipped this one?
Yeah, this is the best part of the trip.
That spoken word part still gives fans chills. The Soft Parade, the ambitious title track from their 1969 album, was The Doors at their most experimental. Jazz, orchestral flourishes, rock, and poetry all tangled together.
Can you find me some?
But this one, never played live by the full band. It's likely the theatrical complexity was just too much for their usual stripped-down, moody stage setup. The layered horns, tempo shifts, and Morrison's manic delivery would have been tough to pull off without a full production. Still, fans have long dreamed of seeing it live, even just once. A psychedelic odyssey, left untouched on stage. It sounds like Saturday morning cartoons collided with symphonic rock, and somehow it worked. Jungle, buried deep in side 3 of Out of the Blue in 1977, is one of the Electric Light Orchestra's most playful, unexpected tracks. Complete with bouncy string sections, jungle sound effects, and a goofy charm, it became a fan favorite oddity. But Jeff Lynne, he never brought it to life on stage. Not once. Not even during the lavish Out of the Blue tour. The band played hits, ballads, epics, but not this. Maybe it was too quirky. Maybe Lynne didn't think it fit with ELO's polished live image. Still, fans keep hoping it'll pop up one day. Jungle lives on in headphones and hidden playlists, a rare ELO track that never made it past the studio walls. Like and subscribe, and this channel will continue to shine light on those who deserve it. Summer 1966. The Beatles were changing everything. They dropped Revolver, stopped touring, and began redefining what a rock band could be. And right around that turning point came Rain, a B-side to Paperback Writer, but so much more. Psychedelic before Sgt. Pepper with backward vocals, detuned guitars, and Ringo's finest drumming. It sounded like it came from another planet. But here's the twist. Rain was never performed live. Not in 1966, not at their rooftop finale. Never. Too layered, too studio built, and the Beatles were already pulling away from the stage. For all its influence, Rain stayed grounded, not by lack of love, but by the limits of the era that birthed it.
You can't be anything you want to be. Just turn.
It's not just a song, it's a curtain call. Released in 1991, Innuendo was Queen's final epic with Freddie Mercury at full power.
Till the mountains crumble into the plain.
6 minutes of flamenco guitars, operatic drama, and fearless lyrics. It was Freddie at his boldest and most fragile, but Queen never played it live with him. Only once after his death at the 1992 tribute concert with Robert Plant on vocals. Why? Because Freddie was already dying when he recorded it. They stitched the song together around his fading strength, and what he gave was a miracle. Innuendo was never just music. It was a message, a farewell, a triumph that only existed in the studio, and maybe that's exactly how Freddie wanted it.
When the tigers broke free.
In 1982, When the Tigers Broke Free was released as part of the Wall film, but it wasn't just another Pink Floyd song, it was Roger Waters' most personal work.
It was just before dawn.
A solemn orchestral tribute to his father killed in World War II during the battle at Anzio. No metaphor, no abstraction. Just raw historical loss. It later appeared on The Final Cut, an album already steeped in grief and bitterness, but Pink Floyd never performed it live. Not once. Only Roger Waters played it, and only in his solo years. It was less a concert song and more a confession.
It was just before dawn.
Too intimate, too painful, and maybe too sacred for the big stage. For decades, it was the holy grail of Iron Maiden setlists. Alexander the Great, the epic closer from 1986's Somewhere in Time, has everything fans love. Galloping riffs, historical lyrics, and a towering melody. But for nearly 40 years, it was never played live. Why? No one knew. Steve Harris wrote it. Bruce Dickinson could sing it. Fans begged for it. Tour after tour. Still nothing. It became a running joke, then a full-on obsession. Then in 2023, Iron Maiden finally unleashed it on stage, and the crowd exploded. After 35 plus years, the wait ended, but for most of its life, Alexander the Great was the greatest Iron Maiden song never heard live. Shazbot Nanu Nanu, those were Bon Scott's final words, a bizarre, Robin Williams-inspired sign-off to one of the band's darkest tracks. Night Prowler is a slow, creeping blues rock beast. Unlike the band's usual high-voltage anthems, this one stalks instead of charges. It was eerie, unsettling, and that was before real life made it even worse. In 1985, serial killer Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, claimed he was inspired by the song. The media pounced. AC/DC was horrified. After a few live attempts, the band dropped it. For good. Night Prowler became too heavy to carry, not musically, but emotionally. A chilling outlier in their catalog, silenced by tragedy. For a while, Radiohead had a habit of abandoning their biggest hits. They famously dropped Creep from live shows, calling it shallow, overplayed, a joke. Then they turned their backs on Karma Police. Released in 1997, it became one of the most recognizable songs from OK Computer. A dreamy, eerie anthem with a sing-along chorus that packed arenas. But as their sound evolved, the band grew distant from it. They stopped playing it for years, uncomfortable with its popularity and the expectations it carried.
This is what you get.
Karma Police wasn't forgotten and just shelved like Creep when it got too big to breathe. Radiohead didn't want to be jukebox heroes. They wanted out of the box completely.